Happy Friday, America. I'm here, and you are with us here on the Discussion Combustion YouTube channel. Hope everyone has been using your affirmations out there. So important. My name is Arthur Rawe, and I am so honored to be MC of this episode. I'm going to be the engineer on this episode, and I'm also going to be the one hitting you with some Today in History, but that's coming up right after I introduce my good friend, Kevin Mitochondria Batstone.
Whoa. Now, coming in hot. Happy Friday, America. We are here in June. Tomorrow, I am 1 year older than I was today. Think about that for a moment. Let's get it rolling. Let's have some fun. Let's kick the weekend off right. All right, what do we have in history on June 6th?
Yeah, we'll get to your birthday and what's the cool shit to do this weekend. But June 6th was an absolute banger, okay? So first, to start this off, 1816, there was an absolute banger of a volcano explosion which occurred in Indonesia. This was Mount Tambora. This explosion in 1816 in Indonesia created 10 inches of snowfall in New England.
It's amazing.
And they quoted it, they deemed it the year without summer. So it was on the other side of the globe, completely affecting weather conditions. We can go down a long, deep rabbit hole on tectonics and all that stuff is cool, but we're going to go to 1933 next. And what happened in 1933 is the United States Employment Services was created. This was after the Unemployment Services, apparently, which was in 1927, not necessarily on this day, but kind of interesting how that lined out. And then a very important day in history was in 1944. This was the D-Day where our troops actually touched ground in northern France. Operation Overlord began. The 82nd Airborne Division arrives in French. They're obviously there to sabotage the replenishment of the German troops so they can mess up the roads and the logistics so they can't send in reinforcements to the beaches. And then 156,000 strong Allied forces landed. You just think about that.
It's big.
All of these ships coming in, absolutely an astonishing collaboration event, which we know ended one of the biggest wars in history. And then one fact that I did not know about D-Day, this is pretty interesting, is on that day, all Major League Baseball games were canceled in honor of the D-Day landings in northern France. So I didn't know that they canceled all MLB that day. That was a new piece of that to me, but we had Memorial Day last weekend, and I just, again, want to thank everybody who's served and given their life for this great nation. I would not be able to record this podcast and have my lifestyle if it wasn't for their sacrifice, so I want to make sure to mention that.
Absolutely.
Yes. Salute to the troops and all of our servicemen and women. Thank you. Moving to 1983. Look, everybody loves James Bond. Which James Bond movie came out this day in history? Octopussy.
Great movie.
It premieres in London. All right. What a banger. And then 1998, Sex and the City premieres. Okay. So
same day.
I'm kind of curious about this. I've never really watched it. I'm sure it's definitely a chick flick type of series.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen clips of it, but I never have gone all the way through it.
It might be fun to pull up. Watch with the wifey. It was done by HBO. They do a lot of great shows. So I might just start getting into that series. I've never seen it.
That was the best years of HBO, was like 95 to 2010. I feel like now it's a whole different conglomerate.
Yeah, people are trying to make too many people happy instead of just making good content.
It's true.
And that is Today in History. Kev, you're going to bring it in with some buzz.
Yeah, I got the buzz for you this week for sure. It's been a while since I've done one of these rollovers. If you've been following us long enough on Happy Friday, I used to do trucks rolling over, dumping eggs, potatoes, all kinds of different things. Well, this time it's bees. That's right. Like Art said, you got the honey. Don't bring the bees around the honey. All right. That's what they say. A truck rolls over up in Washington and it was carrying 70,000 pounds of honeybee hives. Art.
That's an oversized load.
That's too much because GD weight is what?
It's 48,000.
That's the most you can carry. Plus,
on like a dry van, unless if you're on like a flatbed, you can go higher weights, but that's overweight. Like you need an escort, you need special permits. It might break roads.
Yeah.
Like
maybe that's part of the reason why this thing tipped over.
That's crazy. They had 70,000 pounds?
70,000 pounds of honeybees. It rolled over. This was about a week ago, and this was in Wide Camp Road up there. I'm not real familiar with Washington's geography. The original report had come out to say it was around 250 million bees within these hives, but they took a look at the numbers, and it was actually 14 million. That's a lot of bees. Okay, that's a
Mhm.
lot of buzz right there. And so basically, they had to wait. They had to wait for them to find the queen, get back to their hives. They said a good percentage of them are just wild bees now. They were not able to get them back rounded up to the
Yeah, how do you
hives.
round up bees?
You can't. I mean, they're buzzing, baby.
Yeah, I mean, where the queen goes, they go.
They go. And
Yeah.
so they lost some, obviously have become wild now. They had to close the road down for 24 hours, completely shut down to get this situation
Hmm.
under control. I mean, I can't imagine you're carrying that much honeybees. Like that's got to be a huge risk to the public. So they have to shut it down, you
Why
know.
why would that be a risk to the public?
Well, you got bees out there buzzing around.
Well, yeah, but bees, the honeybees are non-violent. They're not like hornets
Well,
or
sure.
like wasps
But
or something.
they're in a tumultuous situation here, like kind of fight or flight mode.
Yeah, so I mean, the bee is not gonna try to. They're gonna try to like hide, because they die if they sting you, right? So that's like a last result. I actually think that wherever this happened, they got fortunate because now their wildlife area
Has been
is
pollinated.
is gonna have extra pollinators. But it's crazy because when you first brought this up, I'm thinking like, oh no, like this semi of bees crashed, and that potentially could have absolutely wreck the farmer's ability to grow crop, or like who knows, because
Right.
they're an essential piece of all agriculture,
Well,
and wild and everything.
and we don't know where they were going exactly. They're being transported from one area to another, right? And so the crash resulted in basically a driver failing to adequately navigate a turn.
Mm,
So the accident here falls on the hands of the driver transporting these bees. Driver has to be responsible for his load at all times, Art, and he lost control of this buzzing load.
damn, that's a big one. 70,000 pounds is a lot for one truck.
Those are massive hives. They got to be.
Like that's, I mean, that's a 250,000 bees.
Well,
Like,
that was the original estimate. It ended up being 14 million bees.
oh,
Yeah. 14 million bees was the final number,
oh wow, no, that's,
but that's still an incredible amount.
I mean, how many hives? That's a just this like picture a trailer full of like bees is that's crazy.
It had to have been an
I wonder
oversize.
like who brokered that. I work in the supply chain industry, so I won't go too much further in that. But that is an interesting one. I've never heard
Yeah, it's wild.
of bees being transported, let alone the load getting lost.
Well, it was definitely an interesting buzzing load for sure. So that's the lead article this week. What do you got with these identical twins?
Well, I'm actually going to give these guys dual hero of the week, and they're going to be heroes of the week because they are promoting how to live a healthier lifestyle and reach 100 years old, and to see the next 100 years old is what these identical twins are doing here. So I wanted to talk about these guys. Pretty cool. They're out of Oxfordshire, England, and
Oxfordshire.
Oxfordshire, Worcestershire. I wash it in the washer. Worsher. Some people call their washers worshers.
Warsh.
Either way, they're out from England, and they're celebrating their 100th birthday together. We've celebrated the oldest people
We
alive
have,
on this show, but we've never celebrated two twins hitting 100 together.
let alone identical.
So I think that's pretty cool. The older brother Bill, who's older by 10 minutes, he says he stays sharp with daily painting, keeping the mind sharp, and at least 20 minutes of activity. And so
You got to use it.
some of the things that they're promoting is actually continuing to move your body. Obviously, like eating clean, living clean, staying active, uh dermatation, so probably taking good care of your skins. And then they also did admit to having good genes. So like, sorry if you have shitty genes,
Got a bad hand.
like you can't, there's nothing you can do about that. You might be able to use your mitochondria if you can affirm that into well-being and actually change your molecular level, but we are not medical experts here. um the one of the biggest, coolest things that Bill says he's seen in his entire life was the computer. He's like, the computer is the most important invention of his lifetime. Amazing possibilities is what he says with that. I mean,
100 years.
as we're going into AI,
Yeah.
there's like they've seen so much change in
The
the
color
world.
TV,
Mhm. Yeah,
all of it. They've seen technology innovate
they've seen everything
from
basically.
1925. Yeah,
Yeah, they were alive during D-Day.
during Prohibition.
During Prohibition,
I mean, they were
during
young, but
the Civil Rights Movement,
yeah,
all of that.
that's a lot of shit.
All that, man. So you got to give it props to them. You know, they were happily married. Won't go into all the detail there, but they are just chilling. On their birthday, they did have like crowns, and they actually did receive a letter from King Charles.
That's pretty cool.
Right? So they did it in style, crowns, cakes, and cards from King Charles. happy birthday to the twins out there in England. And I'm going to say y'all are the heroes of the week for promoting good longevity and health. Thank you.
Solid lads of the week, enjoying their 100th, just chilling, man. That's what you want to be doing at 100. Chilling.
Yeah, if you could do that and still moving, painting, you're living a good life.
You got to use it or you lose it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So we were in England.
Yep.
Now we're going down under.
We're going down under. This might be one of the badasses of the week.
Okay.
All right. Olivia Vinson, 34 years old, is a complete badass. She decided that she wanted to break a Guinness Book World Record of most pull-ups in 24 hours.
Oof.
So a couple months back, she trained for it and got about 12 hours into the challenge and completely ruptured her bicep tendon.
Oh.
Completely tore it 12 hours in. And so she had to recuperate. She had to heal. And then she decided to train again and goes, I'm going to do it again. So the previous record was set at 4,081 pull-ups. This is set by a female.
Okay, so it's females versus female.
Correct.
Okay.
Which, depending on what part of the world you live in, can be questionable these days. But I don't know what the male record was. I think it was closer to maybe 8 or 9, 10,000, somewhere in there. She ends up breaking this record, shattering it with 7,079 pull-ups in 24 hours. That equates to about 5 to 7 pull-ups per minute for 24 hours straight.
I mean, look, if I could probably do 2, maybe 4 pull-ups right now. Like, I'm not doing pull-ups. I'm not regularly doing those. I think I could do 2 or 4.
It's a different type of body strength.
Yeah, like maybe I could do 10. I don't think so.
I could probably do 10, but it's going to be rough.
You really think you could just do 10? When's the last time you did a pull-up?
Probably maybe a couple months ago.
Dude, we're gonna have to test this out. Do you have something at your house?
I don't have a pull-up bar at the house.
I think maybe I've
used Eric's before.
Maybe Eric.
And there's a big difference between a chin-up and a pull-up.
Yeah.
You know,
so she's doing the forward facing.
She's going forward facing knuckles. That's a pull up. You know, the chin up, you can, they say you technically have an advantage because you're transferring a little bit more of that to your straight bicep. When you go out, you're obviously using more of the forearm. Probably, I'm not a muscle expert here. There's probably some guy out there watching like, this dude's completely wrong.
No, you're probably right.
It's just a different muscle grouping within the bicep tricep family, a little bit of shoulders in there getting involved. The fact remains, she goes out there, blows her bicep out, and then says, you know what, I'm going to heal from this, go do it again. And completely smash the record.
Yeah, I mean that's how people succeed. When you're trying something, the universe is going to make you fail at it a couple times, and you have to overcome that presence of doubt. That's the only way to succeed. Solid Ledette.
Oh yeah, she's killing it.
Super solid Ledette. Next, we're jumping into the Would You Rather. Last week's Would You Rather was talking about time. So you could either relive your favorite day whenever you want, or you could pause time for everybody else but yourself for 1 hour each day. Kev and I, we both selected pausing time.
We did.
And I've been thinking about how cool that would be.
It would be cool.
I would be a bank robber. I would be a bank robber.
I don't think I would steal from people.
I would be stealing from banks.
I would definitely use it to, not manipulate the stock market, but I'd be ahead of everybody on investments.
I definitely would not tell anybody what I'm doing during that hour.
No, that's probably best.
So no one would know that I'm robbing banks, and it would be so sophisticated.
And the money would just be magically gone.
Yeah, it'd be so sophisticated.
Yeah, but that's no good. Robbery's no good.
Hey man, it's my life. I got an hour to myself every day. What would you do with it? But how did people vote on that last week?
They went 50-50.
Shut the fuck up.
We get more 50-50 votes than anything else. America went split decision on that, on pausing time or reliving the best day. So we're split once again, but usually sometimes
that's okay.
It's worse when it's still 50-50 with you and I. At least we can tip the scale a little bit towards pausing time.
Yeah. Wifey went to she picked reliving a day.
Interesting.
So 50-50 in my household as well.
Okay.
However, we got one that I've been thinking about ever since we put it to the pad. This week's Would You Rather.
How long ago was it in the pad?
Like I've been thinking about it for a couple hours.
Okay. I didn't know when you thought of it.
No, I've been thinking about my answer for a couple hours here. So, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck? So that's a big duck.
That's huge.
It's a big duck. It's thousands of pound duck.
Well, yeah, average horse is like 2,200 pounds.
So you would have to fight only with blunt objects, okay? No sharp objects, no firearms.
No hatchets.
No hatchets, no sharp objects. We're talking blunt objects only. So you would have
a sledgehammer.
That's blunt.
Okay.
That's a blunt object. Yes, sir. So sledgehammer would work. So would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses. So just think about this herd of duck-sized horses. They got hooves. They still got teeth. They can nip at you. They
Yeah, I
can rip
mean,
your skin.
they're going to be about yay big from ass to, and probably about that tall.
You
So
know,
they're the size of, a small dog, really small dog.
yeah, and they could do some damage in numbers.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this
So
isn't an easy
which
task.
one are you fighting?
I'm taking the one. I'm going one-on-one with the fucking mega duck.
With the mega duck?
I'll take it with a fucking sledgehammer.
The mega duck's gonna have talons,
The first thing I'm going to do,
big ass
I'm
wings.
going for his because he's going to have these massive. They're not paws, but would a duck have fins? They're not fins.
It's webbed feet.
I'm going for the feet first.
Yeah.
I'm going to take those out with the sledgehammer.
But then your head's going to be exposed. It could like come quack on your head.
It's a risk I'm going to have to take.
I don't know, man. I don't think that's a good first move for fighting the massive duck.
I'm taking him out.
I think I would get overran by the army of tiny horses. I do think I'll get overran by them. I feel like my favor is best with the one-on-one odds as well. But instead of fighting with the sledgehammer, I'm going to have like a Donatello staff.
Okay.
I'm going to have like a metal staff or something where I can like keep some distance with it, try to keep it away from me because it has those long wings. But I don't know. Who are you fighting? Which one are you fighting, America? We could probably talk about this one a little bit longer, but I mean, we're both choosing fighting the massive duck.
I think, yeah, because you got to look at your odds. You're going one-on-one. If you can somehow get it down to where, and then you can take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can try to wring its neck.
Yeah. And basically, would you rather like absolutely destroy one animal or 100 cute tiny horses?
No, I don't want to take out the little horses.
Me neither.
I'm taking the fucking duck down. Okay. I'll get my duck whistle out from Duck Dynasty, and we're going to town on it.
Well, we're unanimous 2 weeks in a row here. Let us know on X or Twitter or in the comments below. Are you fighting a massive duck or 100 tiny horses? What do we got next, Jeff?
Very interesting. Would you rather? Very odd. Let us know, of course. All right, we're moving on to the airways again. If you've been following this show for the last few weeks, I've been putting all these idiots on the program, giving them a spotlight. Why? I don't know. But here we go. Another dumbass of the week. We had one was shitting in their seat a few weeks ago. One got naked, was walking up and down. Well, this guy, so British Airways, there was a flight going from San Francisco to London. He was working it. This was not a passenger.
Okay.
This was a stewardess, or I guess a steward, because it's a lad, working this flight, bringing out snacks, making sure everything's good. It's one of those mega flights. Like it's a double decker, long flight. You've been overseas, you know what I'm talking about. And so they're like, where is this guy? Where did he go? And so they go looking for him. And apparently he was like in the club world cabin.
Okay.
Which like is for the first class. They have like their own rest room area.
Yeah, like I'm sure that they need to take a break and stuff every once in a while.
Yeah, they probably have a little area for that, especially 12-hour flight. Yeah. And so he's in there. They finally find him. He's in there completely naked. Don't know where his clothes went. Okay, those are yet to be found.
So they're not in the bathroom?
Nope, they had to put him in PJs because that's the only thing they could find to clothe him. So the other steward and stewardess
sneak in there naked?
Yeah, he went in there and he's doing dancing. And come to find out that he was on drugs, which is what I said of the other folks a few weeks ago, doing this similar activities in the air.
Makes people do odd things.
For some reason, it makes them want to get naked and do dancing.
Hey, that's the most free you can feel.
It's got to be like probably like either that pink cocaine, which is becoming really popular, or MDMA.
What is it? The Himalayan sea salt?
No, pink cocaine is on the rise right now.
I've never even heard of that.
You will now. It's one of the biggest growing drugs, and it's not even cocaine. It's basically ketamine, MDMA. It's mixed with a bunch of other shit.
Oh god!
And they call it pink cocaine. One of my wide receivers, mine with the New England Patriots, Stephon Diggs, just got busted with a bag of it on a boat with a bunch of women around him, and it's creating a little bit of turmoil at the Patriots. Anyway, I'm getting misguided now. The drugs are what caused the 41-year-old lad. So when they finally landed, he was arrested. They took this lad in under suspicion that he was unfit for duty.
Yeah.
And, they took him to the hospital because he needed medical treatment from these drugs. And then
just let the guy come down naturally. He's already high. You're going to kill his buzz.
He's supposed to be working.
He's
supposed to be working the plane,
He was working that bathroom.
He let this flight down, and I think he's a complete piece of shit failure.
Yeah.
He
let
him down.
He was selfish with his actions.
Super selfish. And didn't care about the job. Was arrested for it. Unfit for duty. And yeah, I don't have a name. He's a 41-year-old lad, and he's a piece of shit. So he's my dumbass of the week.
Well, don't do drugs, kids. They're bad. Coming from someone who used to do them, I will also say, don't do drugs. It's no good.
Okay.
So I'm going to get into a raw talk. It's not about not doing drugs.
Is it a raw rant or a raw talk?
It's a raw talk, baby.
Okay.
So this is supposed to be something that can help you develop your personality and become a better human being for society.
It's been a while since you did one of these.
It has been a little bit
On
since I've
Happy
done
Friday.
it. It has. And this raw talk is actually inspired by a previous host that hosted on this show. He guest hosted while I was in Sweden, Mr. Clint Gershenson. I do want to thank you, and you provide the inspiration for this raw talk. So what is it? This is something that's going to accelerate your learning and also help you enjoy a more complete entertainment experience. And I'm going to quickly just talk about listening to audiobooks, but most importantly, how to listen to audiobooks absolutely for free. This is something I've been doing since the beginning of the year. I've completed almost 6 books total within 6 months. I've never obtained this much knowledge so quickly. I'm doing my very best to act upon the knowledge instead of just knowing it. But I'm super excited about this and I'm passionate about it. So I wanted to share it here on Happy Friday America. So what you do to get free audiobooks, just go to your local library. You go in there and become a member. You get a library card, which is absolutely free. And then with that library card, you can log into the Libby app. And from the Libby app, you enter in the library card and then you have free access. It's pretty interesting because you do have to rent the books and they only have so many digital copies available. So sometimes you have to wait a couple weeks. It kind of makes it fun. And then you only have 21 days with the book as well.
So it's a digital library.
It's like a digital library. And so you only got 21 days with the book. So you do have to get through it at a reasonable amount of time.
La Biblioteca?
La Biblioteca. Yes.
Sorry.
The book, yes.
Well, no, the library in Spanish. La Biblioteca.
Yeah. What is a book is...
book is something, but Biblioteca, I think, is library.
Yes,
anyway,
Biblioteca.
I'm getting you misguided.
No, that's good. But, I've been doing some Espanol too, man. It's muy divertido. Very fun. Yo disfrutos muchos. However, go ahead and start listening to some audiobooks. Me personally, I'm doing this for kind of self-help books on like stoicism, psychology, how to use your brain to benefit you. I actually might believe in that humans have the capability to use telepathy now, which is crazy. And either way, you could even look up fiction books and you can look at
any book, right?
your fun novels. You can see which ones are audio or not. So, and why I say it can accelerate a more deeper creative way of entertainment is because when you're listening to an audiobook, you get the same response in your brain as if you were reading it, and the visual stimulus, you can create the story. It's so much better than just receiving all of it curated through a movie or through a show.
Right.
So I wanted to just talk about this just for a moment so people can either open up their entertainment possibilities. I like to listen to these audiobooks when I'm on a walk. So, I'm working out and also learning. And it's really changed my life in these last 6 months. And I believe it's going to continue to help me grow as an individual and help me stay a more centered person. So super excited about it. That's my quick raw talk. What's the last book that you read?
Probably had to be 3% Man.
That's a fantastic book.
I mean, I've read it so many times, but that was probably the most recent read. Power versus Force is still in transit. That's a book I read, a chapter of here and there. I'm taking like a little bit more of a raw approach with that, where I let it digest. Yeah. One of the things Coach recommends doing too with the audiobook is if you also have the physical copy. Not everybody's really going to have both, but if you do, in my instance, you put it on 2x or whatever, 2x on the audio, and then you can kind of like skim read it. So you're hearing it and you're seeing it at the same time. So you're getting like that double audio and visual, and your brain's really absorbing that information.
Oh yeah, that's a knowledge hack right there.
It's one way to do it. 2x is pretty quick though for some people. That might be too quick.
It is. So it depends on how you're trying to get through it, but go to your local library, get your library card, log into Libby, use your library card number, get free access. It's free knowledge. It's free knowledge.
It's a good tip.
It took me, and Clint, you're the one who taught me. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Solid lad.
Yes.
Yeah. Good advice there, Art. Well, let's keep it moving. So this is an interesting one. Talk about having a lot of fortune on your side. Up in Lethbridge, Alberta, a man has won the lottery for a 4th time. Think about that. I mean, most people don't win the lottery at all in their lifetime. This man has won it 4 times. Most recently here, May 3rd, he won $1 million. Ooh. Go back to last August 20th, 2024, he won $500,000. 3 months later, he won another $1 million. and he won $250,000 12 years ago.
Wow. So these are not small jackpots.
These are pretty mega-sized jackpots. I mean, that's $2.5 million just in the last year
Wow.
on the lottery. Now, following that up.
Where does he live?
Lethbridge, Alberta.
Alberta, you did mention that. And I wonder if he's like doing random picks or like if has his numbers or like what's going on.
Well, he says that he's a cancer survivor. He started playing the lottery back in 1982. So that was the year my brother was born. So we're talking 43 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's been playing the lottery and he plays it a lot. So this is one of those definitions where David Sirkin, there's his name, David Sirkin, mega lottery winner. But
so on that Would You Rather, he did not choose to stay anonymous.
No, he did not choose to stay anonymous, or he might not have a choice because, there is some public record of it. And then obviously CTV News here picked it up and did an article on it. But he plays every single day, every single lottery that he can, every drawing, every day for 43 years. He won 4 times. So it's an example of you have to play to win.
I wonder how much he's spent.
Probably not more than he's won. I mean,
probably not more.
A lottery ticket's usually $1 to $2 per day, $365 a year. That's $3,500 every decade.
That's not bad.
He's probably spent realistically, because I mean that's if he's just buying one ticket. He might be doing the mega plays and $10 tickets, whatever. Let's just say he spent $50,000 on lottery tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair. We'll go $50,000, about $1,000 a year since he's been playing it, and he's won $2.5 million.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So I wonder if he's like using affirmations and stuff, like and all those techniques to like bring this energy of winning and being rich. I wonder if he, like how, or if it's just a consistency.
I mean, gambling's gambling, as you know. Sometimes you get hot, sometimes not. I mean, it was 12 years since he won his previous drawing, which I mean, I didn't win a lottery 12 years ago, but he went 12 years without winning.
Yeah,
still playing every single day.
That's crazy. So he did play every day. That's
every single
committed.
day. David Sirkin up there in Canada taking his money. I bet you he keeps gambling.
Yeah, I mean, he has a bit more to play around with.
He's got more house money now, boy.
Yeah, it's all in the house now. Like he's good to go.
He is.
He's good to go, man.
He is.
Well, I'm good to go for the weekend, and I'm gonna bring this in with a custom birthday song that I created, and I sing it to my friends. And you're gonna be celebrating a birthday on Saturday, and
tomorrow,
Clint's birthday is Sunday. So I'm going to do a condensed version, and it's just about another trip around the sun. So another trip around the sun. I said another trip around the sun. It's your birthday, a celebration, 'cause it's Kevin Clint's birthday, and another trip around the sun. Ooh, happy early birthday, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll be 36 years old tomorrow.
That's exciting.
Which is pretty wild, considering you met me when I was 19.
I've known you.
Yeah, you know me for a bit.
I've known you.
So we're on to 36. Good things are coming, man. I mean, Tom Brady was winning Super Bowls at 37 and beyond. So these are going to be some of the best years, and looking forward to it, man.
I'm super excited to celebrate. Hey, I'll link up with you and your dad. If it's out there, I'll link up.
I got Pops covered. Yeah, okay. They're still trying to decide if we're going gambling or not. I haven't made that decision yet.
Hey, you just let me know.
I might flip a coin on it.
I love flipping coins.
I knew that would get your.
I don't know what is up with that, but like, damn, I want to flip a coin.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to the Rapids game with Clint.
That's gonna be good
for his birthday, and go meet one of his other friends. That should be interesting. Can't wait to meet you. I'm gonna make new friends this weekend.
Yeah. Happy Friday, viewers should know who Clint is. He was a guest host last summer when you were in Sweden.
Exactly.
He did a great job.
Exactly.
He did a great job. So, okay, well, up in the Irish hills of Michigan, the only 2-mile circuit left on the NASCAR tour. We're at Michigan International Speedway this weekend. It's going to be a banger. It's a big one because, Ford and Chevy, it's in their backyard, right? These manufacturers are right there in Detroit. So it's a big race this weekend. We have some differing picks on Mash the Gas. Sky's going for 3 in a row. She's absolutely killing it. Be sure to tune in Monday nights right here on this YouTube channel. We break down everything NASCAR. And it's time for the weekend, Art. Let's do this.
Go.
Let's do this. Thanks for the support of this program. Be sure to mash that subscribe button if you haven't already so you never miss any of our programs here on the DCPC network. And follow us, Instagram, Facebook, at Happy Friday USA, Twitter X, where you can take the polls, probably go 50-50 again. That would be my guess. Over there at Happy Fry USA. And you know what? It's birthday time. It's the weekend time. Be good to yourselves, America. Let's go.